Just a quick update about the far garden. These are our potatoes. I'm not sure if I said this last time. I think we have 4 varieties. I think this is Yukon Gold, Red Norland, German Butter, and then in the way back there we have some russets. The russets usually take longer than the others, so these first 3 sets we will probably take out. They are flowering now, and that usually means about 4 more weeks until we can do a big harvest. So they're starting to develop some new potatoes. I may have stolen a few little new potatoes today, but then we'll come in and take them out. I do have some more Yukon Golds I'm going to try and put in here with some good fertilizer and just see if I get a fall crop. I've never done that before and I don't think it works very well, but we're going to give it a go. I still have a couple little bean plants that have survived along here. I did dig in there and it looked like we had maybe a little bunny nest in there. They're gone now, but they may have nibbled off the tops of a bunch of our bean plants, so we may need to replant there. Tons and tons of tomatoes. So this is our row of entirely sauced tomatoes, so it's super sauced. On this side, mostly super sauced on this side, though there are a few Roma that were purchased that are in there, and a basil plant. And then these last 3 here are some cherry tomatoes, and then this was donated from a friend in another plot who said she accidentally became the proud adoptive mama of 50 new baby tomato plants, and she needed to find some homes for them, and that was kind of the only spot I had, and she had found homes for most of them by the time I saw her. So we got one little baby. We're not sure what it is, but we'll see what it grows into and if we like it. This is another row of plants that we did on our own. It is more slicing tomatoes. So we've got some orange Wellingtons and some damsels is most of this row here. And then this row of tomatoes is mostly Roma type tomatoes. So just, again, more sauce tomatoes. So a lot of the tomatoes at this garden are just sauce tomatoes. I use those for things like salsa and pasta sauce. Last year we made some ketchup and some barbecue sauce. And these are our peppers. They're doing okay. They're doing better than I thought. Many of them ended up having to be purchased because my lot just did not do well under the grow lights this year. We got lots of mold. I need to get a fan. I know this. But the basil looks good, and all of these little starts that we had before look really good. These are a couple of eggplants. They're already starting to get a few little flowers on them. Where are those flowers? Little flowers. So we should be getting some eggplant soon. Some of the peppers were very, very small, but they do seem to be perking back up again. And then I just transplanted this poor little sad guy. I watered him in and he looks very upset that I did that. He's only got a couple true leaves, but we'll see if he grows. So that is kind of a quick update up here. Everything is still live and kicking. So again, I went out of town for about 10 days, so these walkways were like that with weeds. And so I did have to weed. We did prune a bunch of suckers. We don't do that for these tomato plants here. These are determinate type tomatoes, and so they only grow to a certain size, put on all their fruit kind of at once, usually within a week or 2, and then they're done for the season. But our indeterminate tomatoes that are going to grow 6 feet and up, we do like to prune as many suckers as we can manage. We miss a bunch every year because we're not very dedicated to it, but we do, just to give everything a little bit more aeration. We do trim all of them from the bottom to give, this is probably a good example here, just to give a little bit more room at the bottom. We cut off a bunch of those bottom leaves just to give a little more room at the bottom so that we get some air down there. Those leaves are shaded out anyway and not really giving us any energy. So, but we're getting lots of blooms on these. We actually have a few fruit somewhere, but can't remember where I saw those. This is one of those cherries I was saying we had grown in here, and it's already putting on lots and lots of beautiful little cherry tomatoes. So we should be into the tomato season sooner than expected, and that'll be awesome. I do collect my cherry, or not my cherry tomatoes, I let them go until they're nice and ripe, but I do collect my other tomatoes when they're just sort of blushing. I'll show you that when that happens. because I find that as soon as they start turning red, they do ripen up really well on the counter inside, and if I leave them until they're fully ripe on the vine, big and red, then somebody snacks on them, squirrels or bunnies, or somebody steals them away. Usually just takes the bite and then leaves the rest. So since that's pretty disappointing, we have learned not to do that. Oh, here's some of the little fruits. I think these are damsel. But look at those little guys, already starting to set some fruits. Very excited about these. So that's just a quick update on this garden. I'll show you when we start harvesting stuff in here, but it is all kind of end of season type stuff. So that's our June update for what we call the far garden. Thanks.